my whole life. I was born in 1971 and I have been living in this same house ever since. For 98 years, my family has been living in that house. It was built by my great-grandfather. We are Gujarati. We settled here centuries ago as merchants of goods like rice, spices, coconut. We were bringing these from outside Kerala and selling it to the locals or to the foreigner merchants in Big Bazaar, where the ports used to be. I started trading long time ago. As traders used to make good fortune in those days. We cannot think of such trading today. In recent years, business has not been so good, and I had to start driving. After the Calicut port got shut down, maritime trade declined quickly. A lot of merchants connected with the port were misplaced. Mode and style of trade changed with modern times. Kerala is much more urbanized now. All the places have good number of commercial centers. There are not so many true villages now. All cities next to National Highway, they have got commercialized on a huge scale. Lots of shops, both retail and wholesale, spread across. They are supplied goods directly by the merchants, so the significance of places like Big Bazaar has diminished. There is my house, here on the right. You see it? Hasn't changed much. We grew up here, me and my sister, also my two cousins, the whole family. The neighborhood is different now. The community is different. We used to play around on these streets for hours until our parents were making us come home, have dinner. It was different, safer, less traffic, less crimes. I remember this one time, there was this half wall between our house and our neighbors, and we used to play badminton. Us boys were pretty good, but my sister couldn't really play with us. She wasn't that good. She would climb on top of the wall and stand there watching us play. One day, she lost her balance and fell. There were no adults in the house. Mom and dad always came home from work late, but school finished at 4, so we were home on our own. My sister was crying. The neighbor's kid went running to find another. There was a lady from the house down the block. She came to help. We didn't know her. We had seen her, but she knew her parents. But we didn't know her at all. We didn't know her name. She didn't know us. She looked at my sister and straight away took her to the hospital. She had broken her arm. We didn't know our neighbor lady, but she still helped us. It used to be like that. People trusted each other. They are more private now. I have to make my son go out now, because otherwise he just stays home and plays video games. But then there is no space to play outside also. Sometimes I think it is too dangerous. These are the wetlands. There is a big park there, but not a lot of people go there. The whole area is prone to flooding. 2019 flooding, it was a disaster. People lost their homes. My sister lives in Karandur. It's a small town in the east. She lives there with her family for 15 years now. Every year they experience some flood or the other. But 2018, it has been much worse, more extreme and more serious. When there is a flood at that place, all the families go from town and have to move to some relief camp and school for protection. In 2019, they went to a camp for 75 families, so about 200 and 250 people. They had to stay there for 8 days. And when they returned back home, they realized they had lost everything. Even things they kept on the roof to save them, it was all gone. All that remained with them were a few belongings they carried back from the relief camp. I remember she called me, and then they came and lived with my family for almost a year until they fixed the house. I have a long day today. I go home at 10. Every day is different. We decide when to go, which is good. But recently I have to stay longer. My wife had our daughter 3 years ago, and she had to stop working. Even before that, while she was pregnant, it was hard for her to work because she can't drive. So walking to work became difficult when she became more pregnant. There were no buses that could take her to work easily. She would have had to travel for hours every morning and evening. it wouldn't have worked. And nursery is too expensive for us. If my wife went back to work, she would be paying to go to work. The nursery costs more than she earns. Since my mother died, there was no one at home to help cook, look after our daughter. And it's too far for my sister to come and help. She has her own children anyway to look after. So my wife, she has to stay at home. I think it's quite lonely for her without other adults. She doesn't have time to see her friends anymore. When my daughter turns 6, she will go to school and my wife can go back to work. I don't have to work as long hours because she can work also. But until then, I work from 8 in the morning until 10 or 11 in the night. My aunt used to live in Palat. It's a small village in the northeast. She had to move to Calicut after she retired. She was lonely in Palat. Everyone from the village were working in Calicut. No community and no one to speak to. So when she came to Calicut, she used to live some 10 minutes walk from my house. So she walked every day around the neighborhood to see the family. We all live close to each other. She doesn't have to leave the house. But now she doesn't go anywhere. No, she lost her confidence to walk. She's quite fragile and is in physical danger, if she walks alone. She moved in with her son, my cousin. So now she depends on him to live her life, even to take her to ATM or to the supermarket. And then she gets frustrated because my cousin doesn't have enough time because he works himself. The family tries to be supportive, but it's hard. If they want to travel, one needs to stay back to take care of my aunt.